I'm Monica Zukas. This is Reality Check. I have Michelle Holmes here with me this evening. She's the owner of the Pageant Room and Joyce's Boutique. Okay, so there's just so much going on over there you don't know. And we talked about before, a lot of people have misconceptions of what's going on at Joyce's. A lot of people look at Michelle, because come on, this is small town USA. I know what everybody's saying because I listen. And sometimes I say it myself if I don't know what's going on. But a lot of people think, you know what? We see Michelle, and this is literally what people have said. She's like really skinny and pretty, so we don't want to go there because if you're not a size 0, we're not welcome. Why is that not true? Why, if I'm not a 0 and I'm 16, can I come in there and be okay?
We carry the largest size that they make in dresses. We actually pick up plus size dresses as well.
Because the average American girl or teen isn't a 0, right?
No. Honestly, I've done my research because I've done marketing.
Because you have to buy dresses.
Absolutely. My 0s, 2s, 4s, and 6s I sell the most of.
Right.
But I also sell all the way up to the largest dress they make. So I stock the largest dress they make. Now, I can't buy multiples in every dress because I have to do what's cost effective and what dress will sell. But I literally have everything from a 0 to a 30 or a W, depending on what different companies, their sizes are different. So one company, 18W, will be bigger than someone else's 30.
What's W mean?
W for woman. It's just
wide?
No, it's not wide. Girls will say, I need the 13, 14 wide. It's not wide. It's W just for women because it's cut bigger. Most of them are junior cuts.
Because do you ever have drag queens that come in?
Absolutely.
I bet they're spending some money, girl.
They don't. They never have money. They have to have a sugar daddy.
Oh, really?
Yes.
The drag queens?
Yes. They all have sugar daddies.
So are you like welcome?
Absolutely. Their money's just as green as everybody else's. I don't want to offend other customers. So I've had them come in early or come in late so that they have the privacy.
Well, because a lot of your customers are young girls, right?
Yeah, you don't want a teenage girl to be offended or a mother to be offended. But I mean,
that's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I've judged over at Club Traz. Well, it was Club Traz. It's different now. But I've judged Miss Gay US of A for them.
Did you hear that, people? If she was stiff, she wouldn't be judging Miss Gay USA.
Well, I love it.
See, people really do have misconceptions.
Absolutely.
Okay, so listen. How you got into that before we left for the break, we were talking about your youngest sister, Nikki, which, now listen, whenever I was growing up and I heard of my friends getting in pageants or people that, you know, I knew of getting in pageants, I'm like, whatever, Pris, I play sports. I mean, I may cheer or whatever, but I'll punch you. You're not cool, whatever. And then when I was on POM, Nikki Holmes, who was a friend of mine, a couple of years older than me in school, got into pageants. I was like, wait a minute. What's going on? You're not prissy. You're not doing this to, quote, be cute. And then I took it seriously. I'm like, she's my friend. I know this girl. She's a cool girl. Something's going on in here. Right. So how did she get into this? And oh my God, I can't believe how far she went. Tell us the backdrop. So did Mikey push her into pageants?
No, Mikey didn't know anything about it. No, none of us knew anything about it. I hadn't competed. Jennifer hadn't competed. Nikki just said she wanted to do pageants. I think Nikki had been told she was pretty all of her life. And she wanted to...
Because she is.
Yeah, I guess she wanted to play on that. So she wanted to do a pageant. And she's made a living being pretty her whole life.
Yes, she has.
It has worked very well for her.
So she got her start by...
She wanted to do a pageant. So I didn't want to just let her go out and make a fool of herself. So I did the...
Being the protective older sister, you're like, look, if you're going to do it, you're going to do it right.
Right. So... Back then, there wasn't YouTube. There weren't videos to watch. I literally got a tape of the pageant the prior year, and I watched it. And
this was the Miss Illinois USA
pageant. Yes.
Because to try to get to Miss USA, she had to
win that state title, and there aren't preliminaries. So every girl in Illinois that wants to be Miss Illinois USA has to go to the one pageant.
So you watched a few videos and tried to doll her up?
I watched one video. We watched it. I watched it. I analyzed it. Why did this girl do well? Why did these 5 girls make it to the 5? What did these girls do differently than those girls? I watched the walk, the stance, the way they answered questions.
What they wore.
Exactly, what they wore.
How their hair, makeup.
Themselves.
Oh, my, that's a lot.
And I didn't want that to be her first pageant either. So I put her in Miss Williamson County Fair, which she did not win. I think there were 6 girls.
And she didn't win.
Did not even play.
Was she like, Michelle, that's it. I'm out of here.
Well, different pageants are judged on different things. It was more of an interview pageant, and I think they asked the person that she most admired, and she said Elvis Presley. So I knew she wasn't going to get too far with that one. So interview wasn't
Sisterly love.
necessarily Nikki's thing, but she looked good. So, and USA is based on looks.
So the first time she went to Miss Illinois USA, she won the damn thing?
Yes, she did. She won the first time she was there. And so then it was like, oh my God, we're going to go to Miss USA. Well, the directors at the time said, who trained you? Who prepared you? Who coached you? And she said, my sister did. And they're like, what? So they literally had me work with her. So
you just had a knack for it.
Yeah, I mean, I like analyzing things. I like analyzing people. I love to judge.
So with
I love to judge.
So do I, but nobody gives me credit for it.
I get paid to do it.
I get yelled at.
No, people pay me to give them my opinion about what they should wear and how they should look. And
that's awesome.
I love it. I love my job.
So you just have a knack for it because I could, and some people are like, so how far in advance do you prepare for your show? Do you have everything written down? I'm like, no, I just go in there and chit chat. They're like, oh, I could not. And I'm like, oh, I could talk all day long.
Yeah,
so to me, that's easy.
I give seminars to 25 girls, and I don't take a note. I don't have anything.
You have to keep up on makeup.
Absolutely.
Do you have somebody? Did you have somebody do Nikki's makeup? Did you do her makeup? Did you do her hair?
Can't. When you're at the pageant, you can't. So you have to learn going into it.
Oh, she had to do it herself?
Absolutely. On the state level, you can't pay. Just think about it. If there's 150 girls in the pageant, and then you have 150 hairdressers there,
okay, it's crowded.
Estheticians, it doesn't work. So every girl has to do their own.
So she won Miss Illinois USA in what month and year?
It was in November of 1994. So she went to the Miss USA pageant for 1995. So you always crown the year before for the following year.
So she went to Miss, I will never forget watching that. How old was I? 19? She was probably like 21.
Mm-hmm.
I was 19 years old, sat with a group of friends, having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, you guys, oh my God, you guys, she's in top 10. We're all calling each other because I don't even know at that point in time if I had a cell phone. If I did, it was in the big bag and I had to rip and put the, antenna.
Right.
Well, and you had to cut a hole in your window of your car.
I didn't do that.
Well, I mean, the phone company did.
Right.
But anyway, I remember I was like, I wasn't at home, but I called my mom like, oh my God. Mom, Nikki's top 10. And she was like, oh my God. And then I was like, she's top 5. And I'm like, oh my God, she's top 3. I mean, I could not even believe it. So how awesome was it for you? And was it for her? Like, what was going through your mind? Of course you were there, right?
Of course. It was in South Padre Island, Texas.
Wow.
And we were there.
Was your whole family there?
Yes. Dad said at the pageant, if Nikki wins this thing, I'm taking everybody to the pageant.
Were you like, okay?
Little did he know that she was going to win, and it cost him a fortune to get us all
everybody to South Padre
Island, Texas. Yeah, it was.
She won the first time.
She won the first time,
and I have to say,
yeah.
Now, didn't whoever won that year that she was second runner up to, didn't somebody get bumped up to
well, that was at Miss USA. She won Miss Illinois USA on her first try, and then went to the Miss USA pageant. And at the Miss USA pageant, Chelsea Smith, who was Miss Texas, and coincidentally, we were in South Padre Island, Texas.
Surprise!
Yeah.
So do you think there's a little bit of that going on?
Maybe. Chelsea was the first biracial contestant that came out about being biracial. In the past, you hid that. You didn't want anybody to know.
Right.
And Chelsea came out and said, hey, I'm biracial.
Right.
I live with my white my white side of my family. I don't even know the other side of my family. And she made it worked. It worked well for her. And then the first runner-up was Shayna Mokler, who went on to...
Shayna Mokler was first runner-up when Nikki was there?
Yes.
You guys,
She borrowed her earrings and never gave them back.
Shayna Mokler, shame on you.
Earrings.
For those of you who do not know who Shayna Mokler is, she is the wife or ex-wife of Travis Barker, the drummer for... what's the...
She had a baby with Oscar De La Hoya.
Oh, she did?
Yes, she did.
Travis Barker is the drummer for, it's not 311, it's
some crazy band.
Oh, what is the name of
covered
that
in
group?
Tattoos.
It's not 311.
Blink,
I can't think
something
of it.
Blink.
Blink 182.
Thank you. How did I know that?
See, look at you.
Yeah.
She
also
Mokler.
posed for Playboy.
She sure did. Nikki should have done that.
Well, they offered. She didn't do it.
Was she like, no thanks?
Well, we live in Marion, Illinois. I mean, really?
That's true. Yeah. I mean, Judy McCarthy was from like Chicago.
But you don't want Mayor Bob looking at you naked.
Yeah, that's true. Bob would be like, come on now, Nikki. Yes. I mean, we're the hub, not the gynae.
Exactly. Yeah. No staples in the belly button.
Okay, so before we go on and talk about everybody else that we've pushed out of Marion as beauty queens, because we've had several
Amanda Reynolds, Autumn Waterbury.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Kelly Cruz.
Oh, yes. Did they
the
all
one
go
thing,
through you?
Absolutely. Well, Kelly, I did not work with Kelly before Miss Illinois. She had worked with her sister because, if you remember, Annie Cruz
was
did
in
a lot of
pageants,
locals.
too.
And Annie got Kelly ready, so I can't take credit for her. She was she was one of the few girls from this area that I didn't work with prior. Now, I prepared her for Miss Teen USA, and she was top 5 at Miss Teen USA. She was 3rd runner-up, actually.
And Nikki has had the best career ever.
Absolutely.
Do you think that getting into that pageant initially and giving her the confidence and getting her in that world just set her on fire?
Oh, yeah, I think so. I mean, once you get a taste of it, girls come back after the pageant after being treated like a queen for the week, and people yelling, Illinois. Nikki still answers to Illinois. It's so funny because when you're at a pageant, they
call you by your state.
You're the state. So you're Illinois, you're Texas, you're Maryland. So Nikki still, when she gets in the pageant, around the pageant.
And they're like, hey, Illinois.
They say Illinois.
Like, yes.
She turns. It's like, honey, that was a long time ago.
We have to take another break, darn it. Yeah, and I want to talk about Nikki's career a little bit because she lives in Nashville, Tennessee, and it does stuff all the time. I mean,
right.
I'll be on Facebook. She just do an ad. Yeah. Oh, she was just in the Toby Keith video.
Right.
Oh, well, there she is on Home Shopping Network. So she's really had a wonderful career. Mm-hmm. And if you know, is she still out on the big billboard?
No, thank God. It was right across from my new store.
I love that billboard.
But do you want to have it in your own store, and look out the window and see your sister?
Hi, I'm Michelle, and I see my sister's 50-foot head across the street from me. Which, I mean, that would have been kind of nice. We have to take a quick break. I'm Monica Zukas. This is Reality Check. We're having a good time here with Michelle Holmes. Come right back. Stay with us.